Going, guys.
We are in St. Francis, Minnesota, and we are on a little mission today, or I am rather. Sorry, this is going to be me even stupider at this.
We're making
With,
it work, guys. We're making it work.
with two people having to. There it is. Okay, so you watch how dumb. See?
It's that slow flip, you know. We
Okay.
got this.
So here is. Oops, that's my take home stuff. Here's what we're doing today. We are transporting these two Bashir from Mitch to myself here. And Mitch, tell us a little bit about your part of the hobby.
Yeah, so I've been in the hobby for about 5, 6 years now. Dove in pretty quick, like most of us do.
Yeah.
You know, it's real quick. You know, we get addicted like that. So I got African cichlids over here. These are my big boys, my males. Got some eels in here as well.
Ooh, what kind?
I got fire eels. I got the spiny eel, a zebra eel in there. A little bit of assorted stuff in there. But yeah, basically all males. I actually found out the other day I had a female in here. It kind of threw me off. I see some little fries swimming around.
Okay.
Did not know one was a female. But
Dang, like a mouth holding or something?
Yeah, no, actually, well, free swimmer. Actually, we might be able to see
I have
somewhere, but it's in there.
Sorry, guys, I'm just cleaning my lens here.
It's still kicking in there. It hasn't been eaten, so and like
Wow.
most African cichlids, they eat their young immediately when they start free swimming and stuff. So it's you gotta get those fry out real quick. But some survive. It happens, and I got evidence of that down here. Actually, down here I got a bunch of my grow out African cichlids. These are my young juvies.
Ooh, I like the black watery quality to it.
Yup, yeah, I got a bunch of this driftwood in here, a bunch of that Mopani. Really nice driftwood. I got a bunch of exotic plecos in here as well. I got the blue phantoms, green phantoms.
Hold up.
Cactus pleco in there.
So, touching back on, wood.
Yeah.
Where do you get your wood, Mitch?
Where do I get
Where's
my
your
wood?
top preference of?
Top preference of wood, honestly.
You don't have to say a place. You can just say store or.
I actually get it from Forest Lake Pets. They got a good selection of driftwood. I will admit that for sure. They have probably the best selection of driftwood I've found.
They do, and Mitch. Let me get your theory as to why aquarium wood is so damn expensive in the store.
It's that shipping cost, guys. It weighs a lot. It weighs a lot. Being a former employee of Forest Lake Pets, some of you guys have probably seen me there. It takes a lot of money to ship things, and especially wood. Wood weighs a lot.
Really, even like manzanita branches, like I'm sure it's a huge box, but
that stuff's a little lighter, so you can get it a little cheaper shipping wise. Get a little more quantity,
You pay for all the weight in almond leaves.
Yeah, basically.
So you said you have plecos down here too.
Yep, got the plecos down here. Got the blue phantom chilling right there. Got the green phantom over there in the corner.
Oh, that's a really cool one.
I got my gold nugget back there underneath the heater.
I kept one pleco, and it was the 014, the Sunshine.
Yep. I got Sunshine in there as well myself.
I got it there.
Yep. Yeah, they have good plecos.
So can I run? Oh, this camera lens is disgusting. Can I run an idea or just a stoner thought I had once?
Shoot.
So I like to say that plecos are like Pokemon.
Gotta catch them all.
First of all, do you have an idea? Well, that is the number one response when I say that. However, there is, like I said, it was a stoner thought. So there's some meaning that I think is deep, but is actually just, so.
Stoner thoughts, man. We can go off and get lost sometimes.
I'm going to get us in the tripod too, just so we can. Some people don't like the camera constantly aiming.
Constant movement. I know it gives me motion sickness too sometimes, guys. I feel it.
Well, here, wanna hold this on yourself
Here we go. Here, we'll film her putting this tripod together.
This
is the behind the scenes action.
Yeah, someone DIY'd this tripod. And it wasn't me. Oh wait, yes, it is DIY for me because that stupid otter box is too thick to hold in there, so I have a hair thing to
There you go. It's the little things that help. Got to find those tricks.
Yeah, it's called being poor. Okay. They're probably like, oh, you're doing a better job at this than putting together that canister filter the other night. Alright. Yeah, like I said, I definitely make myself on live stream.
That entertainment factor.
Yeah. Okay. So let's just, maybe since we're in here, I'll do my interview question.
Yeah.
Here's my, oh, I thought that was my coat. I'm like, how'd my coat get under here? Okay. So, and we're just gonna, oh, let's stand, oh, wait.
I got this damn table in the way. In a townhouse, you guys, you make it work. You make it work. That's why you double stack.
Yeah.
Double stack them things.
You would think Darwin would have, like, taken me out years ago. Okay. Now we can maybe do it.
There we go.
Where are we at?
Perfect.
Alright, so this is another Bashir tank, looks like.
Yep, got the Bashirs up here.
I love how they're more fat rather than lengthy.
Oh yeah, yup.
That's what she said.
They put on that girth.
You're right.
That girth, guys.
Okay, so Mitch, oops, maybe a little further away because we're like not even in the shot. Oops, it's gonna maybe fall off there.
Good.
Yeah, we
There
can be
we
a
go,
little
we got
off kilter. You don't get the motion sickness, but you
Right,
get the
exactly.
seasickness.
Just tilt your head a little bit, guys. It's alright.
Alright, so just a brief little interview and history of Mitch's fish story. How long have you been fish keeping again?
About 5-6 years now.
5-6
Yup,
years.
about 5-6 years.
What was your first fish?
First fish were actually some big Oscars I got from my neighbor. It was 2 big tiger Oscars and 2 big Placostomuses. Got them in a 40-gallon. They're moving. They're like, either take them or we're leaving them here.
I was
So
gonna
I grabbed
say,
them.
what size tank and why was it a 10
Oh, yeah.
gallon?
Yeah, that's usually what it is. How many fish can I get in this 10-gallon?
Alright, what is currently your favorite fish?
Oh, my favorite fish. I'm on stingrays right now, guys. It's a predator
Stingrays.
fish for me.
So you
Yeah.
jumped right to cichlids.
Yep, I went to cichlids from the Oscars. Went right to the African cichlids, and from there it just kind of bloomed. I started breeding them for a little bit. Then I got into the Bashirs.
Except for the
Yeah.
Sevrum.
Yep, I got some Severums down here. Got a little bit of that South American stuff.
Yeah,
in there,
and
you know.
what? Maybe a couple of those I'm like,
Yup,
you are
yup.
predominantly African here.
Predominantly
Bashir are
African for the most part.
Yet
Yup.
your first fish was an Oscar, an
Yup,
American.
Yep.
So what made you want to give up the cool fish personality for the?
For the color,
the ones
it's
with
the
no
color.
souls.
It's
Oh,
the color.
you
That's
know.
what it goes, you know. It's that cotton candy look.
Okay, you know, Andy at Quality Aquatics has his, display tanks that
Yeah.
he tortures everyone with. And he's got those, like, blonde, whatever's, like, blonde or firecracker trophies.
Yep, oh yeah.
Because I like standard trophies. They're awesome when they're little and spotted, but they get so ugly.
Oh yeah.
Like
yep,
a batfish, you know.
Yep, that's for sure.
Alright, so we know your favorites tend to sway in the African
Yep,
range,
the
but you
African realm,
seem
yep.
to like cool plecos and the
Yep.
oddball. He's got
It's
a
the
long fish.
oddball, yep. It's the oddball. It's like, exotic stuff, Not that basic.
So
Tetras, goldfish stuff.
what fish was your? Oh my goodness!
I'm good on that stuff. I gotta have some of that crazy stuff,
Well, I actually interviewed at Forest Lake Pets back when they were hiring a bunch of people.
Yep.
And he was doing the flashcard thing. I was like, I'm gonna ace this. I know all these oddballs and cichlid, blah blah blah. And he is handing me the tetras and the rasboras and the. I'm like, I felt so dumb after being,
It's like I don't pay too much attention
like,
to the
you
basic
know,
stuff,
yeah.
honestly.
Yeah, I kind of jumped too, I guess, but not with very many at one time, not with as many. Well, I'm a chick, so I started with betas.
No, that's usually how it goes.
Yeah.
No.
So, and that extended to an insane, probably unhealthy amount of nanotanks. But see, what I did is I formed a collection of certain species and genes that I like because that's how I got into the Unorthodox Aquatics. My page is on Facebook. It's not necessarily a company or business, but I do mostly some local services, aquarium maintenance. I do scouting of. I'm really good at finding like the specific rare colorations of betas.
There you go. There you go. You heard her, guys. Check her out.
Let's
for
talk
sure.
more about me.
Right.
It's like watch her channel, don't
More.
listen to her talk anymore. So, what fish is your biggest regret to date?
My biggest regret to date on fish. Honestly, lately I've been kind of regretting the plecos, just solely on the amount that shit, guys. It is insane.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm changing the water like 3-4 times a week on these guys, and I had what was I running on there? A Fluval 304 with 4 sponge filters, and it just doesn't keep up with the plecos. It just poop machines.
Yeah.
Poop machines.
No kid. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, it's like they're suckers, but
Yeah.
you wouldn't believe.
Yeah, they don't clean worth a damn.
And-
That's for sure.
Interesting. Is the gold nugget similar to the sunshine, where it's primarily carnivorous?
Yep, they are more carnivorous. Yep.
Crazy,
Yep.
right?
Those sunshines can get big, real big.
Yeah, I kept it under a huge rock log type fabricated structure with a dragon puffer.
No, really.
And he was mellow. I don't think he saw it half the time.
Nope.
You know, they're too busy looking derpy to.
Right, yeah, I got
Me
the
too,
dragon
where
puffer
I-
upstairs myself, and yeah, he don't do much. He just kind of waits for his food, and that's about it.
So to date, it's the plecos.
The plecos, honestly, right now.
But you'll
and
keep buying them if they look really
you
cool.
keep buying
right?
them, though.
Yeah.
I mean, you can. They're cool.
People,
It's hard to
people
say no.
who haven't been very long time keepers sometimes don't understand the struggle of what it's like to need to keep doing it.
It's like I said to begin with, it's an addiction.
So, what's a fish you want but can't have?
Fish I want but can't have. Honestly, I want to get into saltwater and get some bamboo sharks, but space is limited, and it's not going to happen at the moment.
We're thinking of doing a saltwater setup, just small. There's, I've got the 14-gallon it's a Penplex Aquasphere. It's a 14-gallon globe. And they come with a skimmer, a protein skimmer, and a filter.
Yep, and that's all built into the back, correct? Yep.
Yeah.
Yep, yeah, they are nice.
But there's a 24-gallon I want. I'd love to get a mantis shrimp. That's not enough footprint space. So I like saltwater crabs and shrimp, I think, the inverts.
Yep, they are cool. They are very cool, that's for sure.
Okay, where are we now? What's a fish that you haven't kept and won't? I think we kind of already established that you skipped a couple levels.
Yep, honest, I'm just not interested in the community fish.
Went
They're good for kids and all, but
What-
when you're an adult, you need something better.
you skipped a few grades and then you killed a bunch of expensive stuff like I did probably.
No, it
right?
happens.
And yeah.
Live and learn.
You know that, like, are you in the Facebook groups besides Minnesota ones?
Yep, I'm in a few, yep.
What is your trolling nickname? No,
Trolling nickname, yeah.
I'm
Yep.
sorry, but they're fun to troll.
Oh, they are, and to some of these people, they're uneducated, unfortunately.
Well, it's like I kind of am. A couple people have been shutting down, just out of unruly groups, or they've been getting the boot. Keep your train of thought. Okay, and so members or admins are starting either a different variation of the title or something different but similar.
Yep. Facebook is cracking down pretty hard on the groups.
A couple people have asked me just to join their groups, and now I feel like I have to give a disclaimer that, you know, you might have to take me into timeout and tell me, you know,
Might have to
be
send
nice.
me a private message.
Yes.
Yep. Before you give me the boot, give me a warning.
Well, I'm not mean. I'm sorry, but this hobby, it's heartbreaking. It's unapologetic. It's science, you know.
Yeah, it is.
It's all the stuff I'm bad at, and I just, you know, I believe in order to, a part of developing well in the hobby is knowing the hard truths. And a lot of that shit's just so censored in the groups, you know, now. And it's like, that's fine. People can do what they want, but they're online in public asking, and I'm rambling, I'm sorry. There was honestly a point to this rant.
Basically, don't cry when you ask for advice and you get something you don't necessarily like. Don't be a crybaby.
I'm about to leave most of them, but I'll always stay in the beginner groups because it's a bunch of beginners giving advice to other beginners.
Oh, it's funny.
It's
hell to watch. It
delightful.
is. Help.
But it's so hard not to get kicked out every day. Okay. Anyway, what's the most tedious part of it?
Tedious part of it is the water changes. Obviously, you know you got to keep up on them. You got to keep these fish healthy, but.
Siphon.
Siphon.
That's a mixture of siphon and python.
Yeah, you know, new words, guys.
Or python or alternative method.
Now, Python, it's the way to go. Started out the bucket way, and quickly changed from that. Let's be honest. The Python's the only way to go.
Have you ever suctioned it into your mouth to start it?
Oh, that's why I gotta do it every time. I run it out the back door. I
You're
mean, it's just easier. I know the gravity method, but shit, I'm already at the back door. Give it a little suck and throw her out there.
That's like popping the fish keeper's cherry, really. I mean...
We've all drank a little fish water, let's be honest.
Yeah, I mean, you're basically wanksta unless you know, choked on some nitrates. And,
right, exactly. It's just
sand.
Nutrients, you know.
Biggest lesson from the hobby?
Biggest lesson from the hobby. Keep up on water changes, because you lose fish. I lost about $1,000 worth of fish, probably about a month and a half ago. Didn't see a dead fish in my tank. Sat in there for probably about 3-4 days. Wiped out the whole damn tank. Had an ammonia spike. Done. It was just too late. I did the water change as soon as I seen them acting goofy, but yeah, it sometimes you catch it too late, and it's just unfortunate, you know. But it happens to all of us eventually.
Yeah. It's hard to say. Like, I like the natural stuff with like the larger larger volume tanks, pools, what have you. But a lot of that too, you know, just debris. You gotta keep up on that stuff.
No.
So yeah, that filtration, water changes. I honestly have tried the Purigen and the detoxifiers, but there's just really, they need a fresh breath of, or non-breath of water.
Yep, and always over filter. That's the way what I tell people. You can never have too much filtration.
Yeah, I have killed a ton of stuff and some expensive stuff just by, you know, learning these hard lessons. And anyone can tell you online what you should do, and maybe it's right, maybe it's not, but
you won't know until you try it and
never,
live and learn it.
Everyone does whatever they want.
Oh, exactly. No.
So, what's your fish keeping personality? If you need more details, let me know.
Fish keeping personality.
Like, are you super by the book, or do you kind of relaxed about it?
I'm more relaxed. A lot of people are stuck on the, you know, the testing every day, testing the levels and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And honestly, people, this is nature we're dealing with. This isn't, you know, fucking science. It's science to a point, but I say keep it more natural than anything. And I've learned that fish stay healthier. I have had less problems doing it that way. Just people go way too over on that testing and shit, adding chemicals to level the pHs and stuff. And I personally don't believe in it. Some of you guys might believe in it. You know, shame me if you want, but nature. That's
Shame.
where I look at it.
Yeah, well, I just gotten this biggest headache. I like to call them debates or conversations, with people online who I actually feel like I would have some different input, maybe a unique way to approach it after failing other things. But it was about rinsing black diamond blasting sand, and someone told me, don't do it because it's got, dirt, this and that, and it's like, yeah, I mean, like, that's stuff that's outside, among worse things, and a lot of these fish are adaptable to things like pH, hardness sometimes, even like oxygen levels, a wide variety of things.
And especially the fish I keep, invertebrates are a little bit different, they're a little more sensitive, obviously, but for the most part, African cichlids, black is pretty resilient.
And I see you're a rack or shelf person.
Yup, I like to double stack. I mean, like I said, I'm in a townhouse, so you gotta make room, you gotta do what you gotta do.
Is there regulations with your management?
Well, actually, it's funny you asked that, because right now I'm actually fighting them, because originally I was told I could have all these tanks in here. We got a new regional director. He's saying you can't have anything above a 20 gallon. I look around and I'm looking at about 1,000 gallons in my basement alone. So he's kind of trying to get me to get rid of things, but I had to up my insurance. And
are they cool or?
My landlord's cool, regional director guy, not so cool. Yeah, he came over to stick up his ass.
He's already got a plan for the like if you have any documentation of that, if you don't, then they'll just try and win, dirty.
Luckily my landlord was in the building when the old regional director said it, so she's on it with me, but we'll see how it goes. I can't move anything in winter. I already told him I'm not moving my fish in the freezing cold. I'm not doing it.
Well, you're on ground.
On concrete level, so I mean it's like what you're replacing carpet.
Possibly water or humidity. But
it's maybe 3 feet of drywall up the wall. That's it. And I got a $300,000 insurance policy on the damn place because of this now. So
townhouses,
crazy.
it's like they're pretty regulated and like sturdy built now. Like
right. No.
I don't know what you do for keeping cool in the summer, or if they have central air or not. But usually they have to keep that stuff up to code.
No. Oh yeah, they'll be getting a list of things to fix around here. They give my fish the boot, let me tell you that much.
Yeah, they'll use the people are gonna get sick if mold happens or unsanitary water reasons. Yeah. One thing about the hobby that you've pretty much started doing from the start and won't change. You've done it and it's just your method.
Honestly, I change my methods up all the time. I alter things. You find something better, find an easier way to do it. You learn something new every day as this hobby.
People say easy is, shitty or lazy, but easy can be the
smart
same
way to do it.
It can be hard or easy and easy. I'm a huge fan. I will just cram sponge and extra filters in tanks and get all this established media. Yeah, and people are offering to buy it,
Oh, yeah.
So, speed cycle, I like to call it, and a lot of people kind of get caught up on the fact that it's not, a 8-month fish list,
Yeah, I tell people, throw an old sponge filter you got running in your old tank in the new tank.
Way.
It's an established sponge filter. Throw her in, you're good to go after a day. I've never had a problem throwing fish in that way.
Me neither. Even sometimes on the same day if it was over capacity enough.
Yep, exactly. It just depends on how well you keep your tanks. I mean,
and how nasty you keep your filters.
Yep, exactly. You don't want to keep them too clean.
Yeah, one time I was squeezing out some, sponge filters from an apple snail tank, all snails. And the tank is like 75% mucus in 3 days,
Oh,
you know?
yeah,
So I'm just squeezing out, and a big splash went in my eyes. I got pink eye in both eyes.
I've always been worried about that. I've been splashed a few times. I'm looking in the mirror.
I had to be careful because I had an outbreak of columnaris not too long ago. It wiped out 4 of my tanks.
Oh, really?
It looks like ick at the beginning for like 5 minutes before it kills your fish 2 hours later, you know?
Oh, yeah.
And it's like I fought so hard to keep that from, spreading.
Right.
I'm human. I have a tendency to either be in a hurry or lazy when, it comes to sanitizing, tools and like nets and stuff. Typically, I'll throw them in a bucket and let them completely dry.
The way I do it too, honestly.
But all the columnar stuff, I tried to fight it, and then I'm like, all this wood, I baked the wood at like 400 degrees for hours, bleached and rinsed my rocks for hours, and I was just still paranoid, even with my vinegar, and I was like, screw this, and I threw everything in a huge bin out in the snow and let it freeze for 2 days.
I don't kill anything, damn it. This Minnesota weather,
Yeah, yeah, us too. No, not
yeah.
Okay, so, do you, watch fish tubers?
I do. I have a little bit of time in between all my crazy antics in life, but, yeah, here and there,
Yeah, I mean, yeah, we were talking about kind of earlier, there's a lot of stuff you either haven't seen before or it's new, a lot of the classic info, okay. Here's a couple this or that questions. Canister filters or something better?
Oh, I like canister filters, but I also do backups. You gotta have a backup because you never know when that canister might take a crap on you. If I had it happen a few times, I actually didn't know it turned off. Power tripped in one of the tanks, and that turned off. Killed a bunch of my fish after that. Learned I'm gonna throw some sponge filters in there too if this ever happens again. I got a backup at least running. So.
Well, it seems like some types of fish, like if you keep a lot of canister filters, people will do on longer, lower. Like the 75 is, fatter, lower, longer, so they'll run 2. And a lot of the times it's an overcapacity. But sometimes it makes the tank so pristine that if it does crash, they're effed, you know?
Exactly. They rely on that canister filter.
And that's why, who cares if your tank's a little dirty, people? Like
I said before, it's nature, guys.
I kept clams.
No one's out there cleaning the rivers.
I think my second most views video is my freshwater clams video. But you gotta keep a little sediment there because they're filter feeders.
Yep.
And then they bury in the deep sand and you never see them again. So, but good results in the video. Same with my biggest regret, the Chinese algae eater. That was like one of the first ones I did. I got hate for that. Whew. We talked about African versus South American. DIY by the boat. What's the ugliest? Well, you have a lungfish, so.
I wouldn't call it ugly. It's all about preference, you know.
It is.
Some would call it a little cute water dog.
I gotta razz you and feel like I'm being clever and funny. Alright, so what's the ugliest fish?
Ugliest fish that I got?
No, ugliest fish.
Or the ugliest fish in general?
Like, I would throw up if I owned that.
There's some ugly puffer fish out there, especially some saltwater puffer fish. Some ugly looking puffer fish. Those little nasty looking blobs. And I like puffer fish. I have 3 different types of puffer fish. But there's some ugly ones out there.
We have like the square ones.
Yeah.
And they've got like this. Yeah. I think the freshwater puffers are more graceful.
They are.
And just, I think they have a little more personality. Well, no, I can't say that.
Depends.
But
it depends.
yeah.
I've seen some pretty cool saltwater dogface puffers. And, oh yeah.
Oh, I love dog
Yeah,
face
the dog
puffers.
faces are sweet.
I worked at a pet store in Mankato when I was in college, and they had a dog face puffer, and I was like terrified of the thing, like they just come up. They did like frozen krill cubes.
Oh yeah.
Come up,
And those beaks are no joke. I actually got bit by my Mekong river puffer about 2 weeks ago, and luckily he got the fingernail and a little bit underneath. But yeah, I felt like he definitely could have bit a chunk out of my finger if my fingernail wasn't there.
Or people who you see them feed their huge fajakas or boo puffers like live lobsters, and the lobster's trying to just stab this thing, and it's like no contest.
Those boos are no joke.
Puffer will bite that fucker in half.
Joke. They got beaks. Like birds.
You're like not gonna have any. If you'd be gone.
No.
Do you feel like if you had, any fish that could kill you with its physical things, if really big, do you think it would kill you if the fish associate us with feeding, they come to the front of the tank?
I feel like you definitely could get eaten.
If it was
a big enough fish, oh yeah. The way that my puffers feed, they come to the top with some fury, for sure.
Imagine getting eaten by your own pet.
Oh yeah, just pecked apart.
I mean, I understand, like, my dad says that, if you die alone and miserable in a tiny studio with a dog, it'll stay loyal by your side forever. But if it's a cat, it'll eat your face. It's like...
I feel that's true. I could see that.
And it's like in fish keeping, that would be so perfect because, the jaded ones who have bigger things, you won't have time to feed a lot and you'll throw some live feeders in there.
Nope.
It's like, what are your views on the life value of a feeder fish versus
Just a regular fish. Fish gotta eat. It's the way of life. I mean, they're feeding on live fish in nature and stuff. So.
Some fish just won't take. They will starve.
Yeah.
A lot schooling fish, this and that. A lot of things will eat anything edible, but some fish that will take live only like pipefish.
Yeah.
I would love to have a pipefish tank, but it's like the vinegar eel thing.
Yep.
Come on, man. All right. Okay. So, wow. Have I been here too long?
What are we going on here now?
Who knows? I was gonna run to Forest Lake Pets because they do have snowflake moray and
yes, they do.
And also some rainbow fish right now. Okay, so tell me these guys. Why don't you explain
So we got
what we got here?
So right here we got the Endoliciaries.
Yes.
This guy right here. He's a quick mover, but yeah, he's about 12, 13 inches right there. Beautiful banding on him there. Then you got the Lapperday over here. Little lighter coloration with the Lapperday. Just depends on what substrate they're on, honestly. I've found that substrate environment makes a huge difference in the color of your fish. The lighter the substrate, obviously, the lighter coloration you're going to get out of your fish.
Yep.
But yeah, with the Endoliciaries, I find having that lighter sand color really makes their colors pop.
Yep.
For sure.
Interestingly enough, about the Bashir in general, this thing, I hope you guys don't mind a reflection. Who cares? You can see him pretty good. Interestingly enough, these guys are like stuck in some time warp in evolution. They've got insane. You guys may be familiar with labyrinth breathing. Fish and things like that. These guys actually have an actual lung structure and breathe air. They can live without water for pretty long periods of time, as long as their outer core stays moist.
Little mud pits.
They kind of sort of have skin, but it's actually tiny scales, which are actually more like reptilian scales, as far as like shape and structure. They do not overlap, so they're just a mix. It's like living fossil or dinosaur fish, they like to they call them. And they have the nostrils with the lungs. You can they have these little, like, my phone's going in here, watch. See the little, like, Shrek things coming out of its nose? So yeah, they're these guys also, like sharks, their quote unquote skeletal makeup is mostly cartilage. They do have spines, an eel-y like tail, just super cool. Let's see what else. Crazy teeth.
Oh yeah.
Little tiny sharps.
Yep.
Like a smaller one, it won't really hurt, but you'll bleed like a son of a bitch.
Yep. And you got the upper mouth, or the upper jaws, and the lower jaws.
Yep. And these guys are generally pretty docile, sometimes lazy. You see they're kind of fatter rather than long. They can be aggressive, especially when, multiple genders in the tank. If there's juveniles present, if not enough food, territory, what have you. These guys all seem very chill.
They all grew up from about an inch and a half together, so they are all very used to each other. But I usually try to keep them all about the same size if I introduce anything new.
Mm-hmm.
I never put any babies in there because they are predators.
They are. And these guys too, they are, I like to say nocturnal-ish, but these are one of the most active fish that I've seen in the hobby. Some nocturnal fish, if you don't have cover or if the light's always on, they won't move, they won't eat. These guys, they eat, they're pretty active. Chill with pretty much everything. Okay, so anyway, how many gallons of water do you think do we got here?
In here?
Two-person thing? Yeah, let's see. We're bagging them.
Oh,
that's right. That's right.
Sometimes we...
Here,
I got you.
Yeah. This is my little big travel kit. We've got, extra insulation, cooler boxes, rubber bands, heat packs. I already knew the size of these guys, so I brought, this is smaller, but I've got these.
She's prepared.
Bigger or even maybe a little smaller. All you line bags, I steal them from work. Anyway, okay.
We won't tell if you don't.
Yeah. Will you be able to get them in a bag if I hold the bag open? Or
Yep. We can make it work. Throw her on the tripod and we'll get this going, guys.
Yes. Shit show time. How do you do this? Okay. Let me see this. I'm gonna have to do this the whatever way this way because this tripod is interesting. Okay, so my goodness. Oh, whatever. We don't have to because you're gonna be putting them in something else. So let's just go here and let's see. These are, I think, I have one middler of the row. Oh, this is whatever. Let's just throw them in. Okay.
It'll all work.
So yeah, this. And obviously we have more water.
Down with that anything we just need. I got siphon hoses. We'll make this work.
Yeah. Sorry guys. I'll turn down my bass for actually the bass is shitty as hell, and I just got a used Scion XB.
Oh, did you?
Kicks ass. Holy shit. Both okay, do you think, or
I think
one
they'd
at
be
a
just
time?
fine. I think they'd be fine.
Okay.
Yeah.
I don't even read this stuff. Is that maybe a little more? Let's. Will you be able to carry it more?
Oh yeah, I'll be
Okay.
okay. Yeah.
'Cause I'll film while you
Yeah.
take this to the thing if you want. And we can just. So you said these guys are pretty big thrashers when
Oh
you're.
yeah. When I was taking these guys out of that tank, I thought they were gonna bust the lids for sure.
We'll go like
And the
this.
bigger they get, the more damage they're gonna do thrashing around.
Yeah.
So.
Oh man, I picked up some crazy like stuff like catfish where they can hurt themselves and can't use certain nets.
Yup. Yeah. With catfish, you gotta be really careful with what you're using to catch them and how you're transporting them specifically, because
Yeah, I mean.
they'll pop a bag real quick.
Yep. I have a pretty huge cooler, but I feel bad. You know, I used to always bring, some sort of container so you guys wouldn't have to use up, your supplies and.
Yup.
But it's actually better, in a bag, on the softer surface. And whatnot. Yeah, I brought my mid-size cooler today just in case, but.
Your rubber band?
Oh, hey, I got a hair thing ready. And this, we can put this bag in the cooler with some foam maybe in case. I'll probably stop a time or two just to make sure that the bag is still intact or whatnot.
Right, exactly. How long a drive do you have anyways? Coming from Brainerd,
An hour and like 40-ish minutes maybe.
What's the drive?
I just wanna make it a little lower here. Sorry, I ruined your masterpiece. I used to ship a lot of fish, and that's a little bullshit. I've only had one major tragedy, and it was when I spaced out that gouramis were labyrinth breathers.
Oh yeah.
See?
Yeah, it's an important thing to know.
Okay, we'll just.
Live and learn.
Yeah.
You live and learn.
Well, it's like a lot of people, a lot of puffers, will have similar hair, which can be learned, but a lot of people, you should never, ever, ever take a puffer out of water, ever.
Never. No.
You should even, you gotta, get it into
coerce
something.
it into whatever you're transporting it into. Yeah, they should not be breathing air.
Because, and even until, well, luckily I knew this before I started keeping puffers, but I didn't know for the longest time, I think everyone kind of generally assumes that since we breathe air, that when they puff up with air, but it's like they're fish, so,
Yeah, it's a little different, and they don't always deflate either, so that's the kicker on that one.
And a lot of people don't know that the animal is going through some trauma, because most puffers, if they get big enough, they will never recover from
Exactly.
that.
No.
It's
no.
fatal. So, and painful to breathe in air when you fucking breathe water.
Exactly. Well.
So, do you have any like box tape?
Yeah, actually I do. Yep.
We can bring it out, not put it on yet, because I'm gonna feed the air. Oh, I don't need to feed the air hose. Oh my god. Smoke another one, Ruby.
Okay.
My interview sheet now. Those can. Well, I'll just cram them in my bag. See. Oh, I'm gonna throw a hot hands.
Yeah, there you go.
Throw in 2 because half of these are faulty.
Yeah, it's a hit or miss.
And these, yeah, I will buy, you know, the U-line heat packs or whatever at times for shipping, but I used to, because I'd have people, I'd help them import, like, kind of do all the dirty work with the communication between the buyer, seller, and transhippers, and getting them familiar with the process, this and that. But you know, I have reasons why I can have really cheap shipping, so I will get them, which is super cheap to ship from overseas to here, but then you got to pay transshippers and USPS or whatever.
Yep.
And oh, I'm sorry.
Oh, you're good. Don't worry about that.
Destruction everywhere. Okay.
Just delayed.
That might actually stay on okay. Alright. So, oops, what am I doing here? Okay. I'm gonna get my, oh shoot, when I hold that, I'm just gonna put my jacket on. Where'd it go again?
Oh, right over here. Grab my shoes.
The stuff we're unprepared for.
Right. Oh, now I'm throwing things around.
And I will also have to just move my car a couple spaces over.
Oh yeah, yep.
Still can't work the tripod. How about I take the lid for
Yeah, there we go. Take that, I'll take this. Grab this, you just want to tape it.
Oh, there's Big Tank Hank! Yeah, grab the door. Or get distracted and figure out what I'm doing here. It's Piranha Tank too. And maybe some, oh, can you,
There we go.
there we go.
Ooh, that's a fun noise.
Yeah. I'm over on the right. Oh, you got it there? This is the part where I left my keys inside. No.
Yeah, right.
Oops, there's my license plate, everyone. Here's the dirty Scion, and just, I think it'll stay pretty snug.
Sit right in there, that's perfect. Let it up, toss around.
Keep it still, and oops, there we go. Sorry, guys. Yeah, that's my little travel setup. I have an inverter, and I hook up the air pump, this and that.
Nice, very nice.
And that's pretty much the gist. You got the time, Mitch?
Yes, I do actually. We're looking at 6:22.
I'm not gonna make it.
Oh, it's about a 40-minute drive from here. Yeah, you'll be about 2 minutes past due.
Yeah.
Oh,
Wasn't meant to be this
not
time.
today. Not today.
Well, this has been Mitch and I having a little exchange here and dialogue and interview and tour and
Nope. Thanks for watching, everyone.
yeah, thanks. Unorthodox Aquatics. You guys have a great night. I am out.
Peace.
Bye.